Before we start the video, if you've seen my most recent community post, then you'll probably know where this is going, because from now on, all of my Delisted Debriefing episodes are going to be decided with a game of marbles on stream. And I've done that for two reasons. One, because I want to take a picture out of Vabist's book from his N64 challenge, considering how, well, impressive that is. I kind of want to find a way to salute it. And B, just to show you the scope of my collection, because I have 247 games eligible for this. We're gonna be here until I'm 60, and we are about to go underway. And yes, I do have a delisted game called Hawk Tour. Don't ask questions you aren't ready for the answer for. Okay, either way, there's a long scramble going on at the bottom. It's seeming like QB and Escape Mind are getting a little bit of a lunge, but QB spends too long near the boost, and it's both Hades and Escape Mind with a commanding lead near the beginning. But of course, this is Marbles for Stream, and in Marbles for Stream, a race isn't over until it's over. Hades taps the wall, Escape Mind does so as well. Does anyone launch ahead immediately? It's seeming like Revelations Online has a chance, but Pinball FX2 may potentially be able to look at it. No Escape Mind. Escape Mind still has a pretty nice lead on everyone else. Some of the potential contenders could be Stack Graffiti and Calorie Mate. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, it's a direct hit for Escape Mind. Who gets furthest? It's Revelation Online. Revelation Online sticks really far forward, but it's seeming like, hold on, look at the leaderboard. Jet Set Radio has come out of nowhere. If that ends up winning, then that could be, oh, it's a direct hit for Revelation. Does Jet Set Radio get through? They don't get through clean. Who ends up doing it? Ultimus, it's a massive scramble. Demigods is now in the lead with F1 2012 just barely trailing them. And look at that. That is a huge lead for Demigods. Even though they're about to hit that tire, I'd be surprised if they're going to end up losing it, considering that could be pinball hell for the other balls. Hold on. Radiant One ended up moving forward. I actually think that's called Radiant One. I think I might have made a typo for the games. But yeah, it's Radiant One with the biggest lead. Not at Home jumps forward. Heaven Seeker. There's so many games jumping around. They're all going to be in a scramble. Who's going to be at the end? I genuinely can't tell. There's too many names. Ishik seems like it's going to do it. Are there any other games? Whoa. F1 2011 seems to make a jump. Arizona Sunshine, the VR game. What's going to be the game to do it? Oh, and we have a winner! We have a winner! It's Ultimate Fishing Simulator VR! Ah, shit, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do VR on my Steam Deck, aren't I? Oh, no. What's that? We've got a bite? Well, hot chimney, reel it in! Come on, show me! Give me a big one! Give me a big one! Yeah! What? It's just a fish! How can a fish fall into the weirdos category? Well, actually, to quote everyone's favorite Austrian fuzzy enthusiast...
It's actually surprisingly simple.
Essentially, the version of the game I'm going to be playing today, Ultimate Fishing Simulator VR, is a deprecated version of the original Ultimate Fishing Simulator, as they used to be separate so you could get the game separately for the VR if that's what you're interested in. But when the developer realized that's a stupid idea, he discontinued VR and stopped doing updates to it, and essentially fused it into the regular Ultimate Fishing Simulator, while giving everyone who had Ultimate Fishing Simulator VR a free copy of the normal Ultimate Fishing Simulator. So essentially, I'm playing Ultimate Fishing Simulator Legacy, and I'm part of a very small camp of people who can actually do that. Wait, hold on. Are there Steam keys for this? Ultimate Fishing Simulator VR Steam key. I'm doing this in real time because I don't actually know. Oh, there are. And they're not that expensive. What do you know? But there's also something else I have to talk about as well, because this is the first virtual reality game that I'm talking about in this series, so naturally, that'd mean I'd have a VR headset to go along with it. And naturally, I do. The one VR headset that I own is the Oculus Quest 1. Yes, Oculus. It is Oculus. Fuck everything that Meta did to it. Fuck them merging Oculus into a Meta overall, because when you had to merge the accounts, back in like 2021, which wasn't even 3 years after this thing came out, if you didn't, out of respect for your own privacy and not wanting to sign up for Facebook, which I did, it wiped your fucking library! This isn't a joke, all of my purchases on this Oculus Quest are gone! Just because Mark Zuckerberg was that fucking greedy. So, fuck Meta, fuck Facebook, fuck the metaverse, and Oculus isn't dead. At least, not to me. I mean, it's on the plastic. They're real to me! They're real to me, damn it! Oh, right, hold on. Much better. That was years of pent-up frustration released there, by the way. So, Ultimate Fishing Simulator VR... is fishing. I don't know what you were expecting from this, but if you're wondering if it's more of an arcadey thing or more of a simulator thing, it very much leans into the simulator aspect of it, because when I tried to do it, assuming it to be relatively easy... Oh, fuck, I broke the line. Fuck! Damn it! Just get in the... What, how are you pulling away? Fuck! Yeah, this game isn't easy. I spent like 20 minutes just standing still in the same location, throwing over and over and over and over, and I can assume that that's because I didn't really know the right fishing technique, but if that's the case, the game definitely succeeds at what it is trying to do. I said that loud because I fucked up that line like 20 times because my ises would keep melting into each other. God, I'm recording too late for this shit. But because I'm not a masturbator, that kind of brings up the issue of, you know, I definitely don't know how to fish well, so how the hell am I gonna fish well in the game? Well, I eventually figured out what was causing my line to break so much by accident when I noticed that moving my rod while reeling it in actually brought them in for a little bit, but then the second I started flailing it around while reeling in at the same rate, that's when it broke. So it was then that I realized a fundamental aspect of fishing where you have to aim the rod at the thing you're trying to reel in, probably because of the force of what you're trying to pull in or something, but hey, at least this game taught me a core aspect of how to fish, so I guess I can give it credit for that. And after 20 minutes of fishing in the same spot... Oh my god! It's not breaking! It's actually getting closer! No way! I'm finally gonna become the masturbator I was always destined to be! I need a net. You know what? Fuck this. I know that this game is aiming to be realistic, and I probably would have received a prompt telling me to look for a net had I been looking more, so it probably wasn't the game's fault. But I'm gonna pretend it was the game's fault because that's the YouTuber way, damn it! So yeah, if you couldn't tell by the rod aside, I gave up without a single fish to my name. And after this experience, I never want to see another fish ever again. Shut up! And as a result, I'm giving this game a 4 out of 10. It's probably a good game if you know what you're doing, but it's just not for me. However, we still have to find out what the next game's gonna be. So, for the only time in this series, let's get the second marble race underway. Okay, it's lights out and away we go, and it's seeming like Dirt Showdown actually has a pretty good launch, but really, whoever has the good launch on that ramp right there doesn't really matter too much considering how much this little circle right here tends to mix up the order between the marbles of the source. So really, I'm just kind of waiting with bated breath to see who makes it down the hole first, and I might as well bring the camera down there so we can make it a little bit more dramatic, but as they get closer and closer, it's all a question of who's going to make the dive in first. So who's it going to be? We're about to get a couple. It's Mythic and Crazy Taxi. They both get the best jump that they possibly can, but of course VRRV is also trying to find a way through as well. Dark Echo too. I think we're probably going to have to keep our eyes on them. Oh, look at the front as well. There's also Space Channel 5. There's a lot of Sega Dreamcast games here, and I think that's because of, like, the Sega Dreamcast game that sort of got delisted as, like, a collection. I'm not entirely sure if it's that, but hey, we'll just wait and see if it's one of those games that come up. But during my round playing Mythic, also got a pretty good launch, and so did Crazy Taxi. They beautifully evade those balls over there, and Mythic is also on a good run, but it's seeming like Crazy Taxi currently has the biggest lead. Do they stick it down the middle? No, they they don't! Crazy Taxi hits a wall, and now it's a battle between both Sinbarrow's Tactics and Dark Echo. But of course, there is the extra section on the left, so that could give some potential winners as well. Sinbarrow's Tactics goes through, but Dark Echo hits it! It's Sinbarrow's Tactics now with a huge lead on the rest of the pack. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to be able to stick it to the end, even if they make a major mistake, because look at how long that is. But still, Crazy Taxi is playing the catch-up game and has made an incredible lunge, considering where they were in the field. But now, there's only one section left for Sinbarrow's Tactics. Are they going to be able to bring it over there? There's only a few moments left before they... What? Oh! I guess it's over. Dark Echo steals it from under their nose. I guess I'm playing Dark Echo now. I was completely keeping my eyes on Sinbarrow's Tactics because I didn't think that their entry was that bad, if you can see the way they were moving around, but hey, I guess Dark Echo stole it from underneath their nose. Sorry, Sinbarrow's Tactics. We'll have to bear your sins another time.